What's going on, guys? Welcome to Civilization 6. The full game is finally released. I played the press early access sort of version for a little bit there, and I managed to get one full game out right before it ended, so that's kind of cool. But I'm actually really excited to check out the full version. As you can see, it has a lot more content already. Multiplayer is actually in. There's an option for additional content and mods, which I guess is going to be DLC. There's already some mods in here, some scenarios for multiplayer, which I think is really cool. This is going to be interesting. Obviously, there's tutorial as well. So if you are new to Civilization, or even only Civilization 6, I would recommend playing through this because the game is vastly different from Civilization 5. And it is actually worth it to play through the tutorial. There's also a benchmark if you want to see how your computer stacks up. But with that said, it is time for us to actually start our very first game in Civilization 6. Now, I was thinking about who to play as first. There's 19 different civs and 20 leaders. Unless you didn't pre-order, like I did not, so I don't have the Aztecs actually. So there's 18 civs for me. But I'm gonna play as China. Reason being, I think they look very interesting. They have some interesting things going on. And then also in 2011, when I started my very first Civilization 5 series on this channel, I played as China as well. So I figured, why not, you know, keep that going, make that a bit of a tradition. We're gonna be playing on King. Prince is sort of the default difficulty, and that was also in the pre-release build of the game. We're gonna be playing on King. Playing on standard speed, although there are now more speeds for those of you that enjoy that. But I'll be playing on standard. I'll be playing on a continents map, but there are more options this time around. In the preview build, we only had continents, island plates, and Pangaea, I believe. So we're going to play on continents and a standard-sized map. Now, there is an advanced setup, but it looks to be slightly less detailed than the Civilization 5 version of this menu. Such as, you know, random personalities and stuff like that is apparently now gone. Which is kind of a bummer because I really enjoyed playing with that, but because of the new way diplomacy works, it does make sense that that is no longer in here. But anyway, we'll be playing as China. We're going to be playing with 7 random leaders. With that said, let's jump into it and see what we get.
From the first stirrings of life beneath water, to the great beasts of the Stonehenge, to man taking his first upright steps, you have come far. Now begins your greatest quest. From this early cradle of civilization on towards the stars. In your people lies your greatest strength, Emperor Qin Shi Huang. From all over the world, others will come to gaze upon the great walls and towering wonders of your united China. May the hands of your men never blister, as they work hard and fast to raise the most impressive structures that the world will ever know. Protect them well, and you will forever be immortalized.
Alright, so that was the ever beautifully voiced Sean Bean narrating. He does all the narration in this game, so I'm going to leave it on for the first series that we play, just because it's so cool to hear him in this game. But anyway, we're going to start the game, and this is what we are given. Alright, so I'm seeing stone, some sheep, a bit of dye, more stone, and more dye. It's not bad. But before we do anything, let's actually go over China's unique sort of abilities. First of all, they can use builders to complete 15% of a wonder at the cost of 1 building action. And they also get 1 additional charge on their builder. So basically 1 builder can make 60% of a wonder in only 4 turns, which is really powerful. And we are going to be using that because we have to, actually. Then also their Eurekas and Inspirations provide 60% of their civic and technologies instead of 50. This one's not as exciting, but it's still quite useful. So I kind of like it. You know, it's just a nice little passive effect there. Then they get the Crouching Tiger, which is their unique land unit, and they can make the Great Wall, which is a improvement now instead of a wonder. And let's actually look that up as well. Great Wall. There we go. If you are new to the game, or if you are wondering what certain things do, use the Civilopedia, because there's a lot of information in here, and it's, you know, just really good. So, let's see. The Great Wall unlocks the builder ability to construct the Great Wall unique to China. It provides an increase to defense. Bonus to gold if adjacent to other segments of this Great Wall. Additional culture and tourism as you advance through the technology tree for adjacent segments must be built in a line along the borders of your empire. So you need masonry to actually do this, which is a technology that you get very early on. And you get one gold from each adjacent Great Wall. And later on, once you get to castles, you also get a bit of extra culture. It doesn't say anything about the defense bonus, which makes me wonder. It just says provides an increase to defense. So I guess when you have units standing on this wall, obviously they're going to be a lot stronger. So it's a very defensive improvement that will also give you some nice gold, culture, and tourism later on. So it's quite nice. And then the Crouching Tiger. Let's get into that one as well. I think this is for later on in the game. There you go. Chinese unique medieval era unit. Ranged unit with a range of 1 and high combat strength. So, let's see. You need machinery for this. It has 50 ranged strength, which is actually really high, but it doesn't seem to replace anything else. At least I believe so. It might replace the crossbowman, though. Machinery. No, it's not. It's just a completely unique unit that is stronger than the crossbowman, slightly cheaper, but it also has less range. Either way, that's kind of cool, and we will most likely be using that for a bit later on. So we could settle right here, if that's what we would want. There's just some things to consider. Let me just make sure. Alright, we can't see anything over here. Honestly, I am inclined to move here instead, because I would like to reserve the area around the mountains for districts later on. So I think I'll just do that, actually. Let's do that. Let's actually settle our capital of Xi'an. I don't know how to pronounce this at all. I don't know if you guys knew this, but I am not Chinese. I haven't even seen that many martial arts movies, so I don't really know. But alright, so that is our capital. So we're all immediately getting a little bit of faith and a nice bit of food from the dyes. That's pretty good. Later on, we're obviously going to get more food from the floodplains or the marshes here. And the sheep are also quite good if you want to get some food. So it's looking pretty good. It's not bad at all. It's a decent start. And with that said, we can choose our very first thing to produce. Now the game is suggesting to go with a monument, a scout, or a slinger. I honestly agree that some of these are actually the best options available. I'm gonna go with the scout though, just because I want to see more of the surrounding map. And getting that 2 culture at the very beginning isn't necessarily the best thing in the world. So I'm gonna go with this for now. And our very first research is gonna require a little bit of thought. Seeing as we do have some stone nearby, I think I might want to go with mining. Yeah, I think that might be the best idea. It also allows us to chop down the forest here, if we would like to, and that will give us production in the capital. I think I might actually want to do that. I haven't really used builders for that purpose too much yet, but I think I might like to. Hello. Got some interesting river formations here that I haven't seen yet. But this would be a pretty, or actually this or that would be a really good spot for a commercial hub later, because those get bonuses from having nearby rivers. But we'll deal with all that later. We'll deal with all that later. There we go. I don't want to make this into too much of a tutorial series for those of you that have never played or seen Civ 6. Hello. Yeah, that looks good. This looks real good. We might be able to settle somewhere near here to get some boosts to sailing. and whatnot, because you need to found a city on the coast to get a boost for that. And the boosts for China are more valuable than ever, because they're 60% instead of 50%. It's not the biggest difference, but it's good. It is quite important to remember that. So if there were a river somewhere up here... There we go. This might be a decent spot to settle our second city. I'm already sort of exploring. Oh my god, okay. There's barbarians here. But this is exciting as well. This tile is surrounded by 4 mountains, which means that if you build a holy site or a campus here, it is going to get some pretty incredible bonuses from having all those mountains nearby. And we'll get into that a little bit later. Alright, let's see. Alright, here we go. Actually, I want to check something else as well. So we have 1 amenity because of our palace, and that's good. And we have 6 housing, so we should be able to reach 5 population before we get into trouble with our housing. So that's not bad. I also kind of like how protected this area is by the surrounding mountains. If any other civ were to attack me here, they would actually have to come through here to get to me. So that's pretty good. Honestly, that looks quite promising for a second city so far. Although we haven't explored towards the west or the south yet. Which is obviously something I want to do. Alright, let's see. I'm actually going to heal. First of all, we found a tribal village here. For those of you that don't know, tribal villages just give you a nice little bonus that is very helpful in the early game. Now, it looks like the game immediately wants me to go with a second settler. I imagine because the growth here is pretty bad. So let's do this. Sorry, game. I'm gonna have to disagree with you here. And as you can see, settlers now take longer to produce because we have less production from this tile, but more food. So the city's actually gonna grow in 7 turns. It still says 20. That's because it sort of needs to update after you switch things around. It's a bit weird, but that's just the way it works. So what I'm actually gonna do is I'm gonna grab a builder who can then improve our city here, and then, let's see, so what we're gonna do with this builder is we're gonna get...
deserves more credit than the wife of a coal miner.
Alright, so we can now make mines and quarries. We're gonna get a quarry on the stone, first of all, and that will improve the production of this tile. It's already a decent tile, but it's actually going to be a bit better. We're gonna chop down this forest, that's for sure. And that's gonna give us a nice little production boost, which is a one-time thing, but we're gonna use that boost to make our settler a little bit quicker. Now, we haven't actually boosted anything yet. We haven't found a natural wonder, we haven't farmed anything, we haven't met another civ, and we have not killed anybody with a slinger. So we are better off going with one of these. Now, since we do have sheep nearby, I'll go with animal husbandry. Yeah, I think that might be the best idea right now, because then we could also use that builder to make a pasture here, which will give us, I believe, more food and production. It's quite good. Alright, let's see what else we got. We've got a little bit of desert here. It really is just a small amount of desert. Those floodplains are actually real good, though. Those will give you a lot of food. It's just the desert itself, the sort of pure desert, that is not good. Having discovered another continent, we realize there is a wide world of trading opportunities. Your progress toward foreign trade has advanced considerably. So if we now go to our civic tree, we'll see that foreign trade is boosted by 60%. So that's really nice. That is a good start. So if we go to our, let's see, continent thing, we started on Baltica, and we just found Siberia down there. All these names are kind of random. They don't mean anything, but you know, you can find different continents, and there's like several mechanics that involve different continents. Alright, this isn't too bad either. I'm seeing a lot of grassland, which is also good for food. Let's actually kill this scout. I do not want him finding my village later, or my, well, city. There we go. And we also get some experience on the warrior, which is nice. Although I imagine the spearman is going to attack him now. No, he's not. Alright, don't know why. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're just going to heal. And we will be going after the spearman a little bit later. We got an enemy scout here as well. We met Vilnius, who is down there. And they have already given me a quest. So I get one envoy with them because I'm the first person to meet them. Which is giving me +2 culture in the capital. That's really nice. That's like the same effect as building a monument, so that's quite good. Now they want me to recruit a great writer, which if we go to the great people screen, we can see we're not actually generating any points towards any great person, let alone a writer, so that's not going to be happening anytime soon. So sadly that quest is kind of out of reach for now. But that extra culture is going to be nice, obviously. And actually what I just realized is...
It is not wisdom, but authority that makes a law.
Alright, so we just unlocked our first civic, which is Code of Laws, and it unlocks policies for your government. So everybody starts out as a chiefdom, and you only get 2 different policies. So we could go with extra experience for recon units, or extra combat strength when fighting barbarians. Considering we already found some barbarians, I actually will go with discipline here. Because we are going to be fighting them, and an extra boost obviously is going to be quite useful. And then we could go with either extra production in all cities, or faith and gold in the capital. Now since we already are getting a little bit of faith from the dies, I don't think we really need God King. So we'll go with urban planning here. And the reason you need faith is because when you get to 25, you get to found a pantheon, which is the first step towards getting an actual religion. So you do want to try and get to 25 faith as quickly as you can, really. So that faith is actually really, really useful to us. The dies are making that possible. So our next civic is going to be foreign trade. Craftsmanship needs us to actually improve 3 tiles. But we do have a builder on the way, but it's going to take slightly longer than those turns there. So we're just going to take a little bit more time and get foreign trade first, which will allow us to actually make a trade route, which is really nice. And it gives us some extra policies as well. Oh, hello. Alright, found another village. We still got to collect that one, and we will. That's just my bad right there. Alright, that is a stalemate, so let's just heal one more turn. But we are going to be going after the barbarians in that encampment. Mostly because we want to clear their outpost. Because when we do, we get a boost towards military tradition. Which will also give us some nice policies. There we go. The villagers share the secrets of their well-organized community. Your progress towards state workforce has advanced considerably. And what we had to do for this one was to build a district, which we haven't done yet, so getting a boost early on is actually quite nice. There's also a policy here that will boost our production towards wonders. Again, that's pretty good. Especially since we do want to make some wonders. Alright, so as we can see, we are getting that bit of extra faith now, which is good. I'm actually going to keep that up for now. And we're also about to finish our builder. Let's see. Okay, they just spawned another scout there.
I am fond of pigs. Dogs look up to us. Cats look down on us. Pigs treat us as equals.
Alright, so now we can make pastures. And we can also make camps. But let's actually go after the spearmen here. Because of that new policy, we should be doing more damage to them than they are doing to us. It's actually equal. Also, our warrior has just earned an upgrade, which is quite nice. But let's see. So if we build a quarry, we get a boost to masonry. And we are going to make a quarry, because we got the stone right there. Thing is, we also really want a settler. Just to get that second city up and running. So I'm actually going to make the quarry. Right, nice little boost there. Also, if we work this tile now, it's a bit better. See, extra production. The food is not as good as this one, but the extra production is quite nice. And I do welcome that. So what we're going to do is we're going to chop down this forest here. and that will give us a nice amount of production towards our settler. And we are going to choose our next project. So we could go with any of these, really. I think I'll just go with pottery, because you want to get that out of the way anyway, to make way for all these other things. And it allows us to make granaries, which will give us more housing, which is what you need for your city to actually grow. I'm thinking of actually making the hanging gardens, though, because it increases your growth by 15% in all cities. That's pretty powerful. That's a nice boost. And we can actually make wonders a little bit easier than other civilizations. So I would like to try and get this. The other option, very early on, would be Stonehenge, which will give you a free great profit. Normally you have to save up for your profit by getting points, which is, you get those by making a holy site and praying there, and that way you actually get a great profit. But you can also just make Stonehenge and you get one instantly. It's whatever you like, but honestly I'm not super fond of this. First of all, because it seems like a better idea to just get a holy site and some buildings in there, like the shrine. And then also, Stonehenge is a wonder, so it will take up 1 tile around your city, and later on all it really gives you is 2 faith. So there's really not a reason to have it once you get that profit. So maybe if you feel like that is your only chance to get a profit, then you could make Stonehenge, but it's not my favorite wonder by any means. Alright, we have another encampment down here that we are going to have to take care of. Alright. Now I just want to know how much production we're actually going to get from cutting down this forest.
Every nation lives by exchanging.
Alright, so we can now get a trader. And we got some new policies, and we can establish a joint war against the target civilization. We haven't met anybody yet, though, so this will not be interesting? This will not be interesting at all to us. And then also, extra gold from trade routes. We don't have any yet, right? So there's really no point in us making that one. Now, our warrior just earned his first promotion. So we're just going to give him extra combat strength versus melee and ranged units, which basically means just about everybody. And there we go. So he's a bit stronger now when fighting, which is exactly what we need. And we're going to grab Mysticism, I think, actually. Because for Mysticism, we have to found a pantheon, and we're about to do that in only 3 turns. And it will also award us 1 envoy, which is nice, because then we can send that one to Vilnius and try and become their ally to get their unique bonus. Alright, who else? Let's see, yes, you need orders. Alright, so we met Hojo Tokimune of Japan. How are you, man? I would be honored if you joined me for the Oban in our nearby city. You do like jellyfish? A mono, yes. Sure. So what that means is that we get a boost to writing because we actually met another civilization. And we actually know where his capital is now because he chose to share that information with me. Next, though, we can actually see our relationship. It's currently -5. Probably because of the first impressions. I don't know what that means. But we can send him a delegation, which will cost us a bit of gold. Alright, so he actually accepts it. And what that will do is it will actually show us what these modifiers mean. So we can see, yeah, first impressions weren't that good. I don't know why. But he actually likes me slightly better because we have send them a delegation. He also likes civilizations that have a strong military and faith and culture output. And he dislikes people that do not. So we're going to need faith and culture, or he will be upset with us. But it's not entirely important. You don't have to let that sort of dictate your entire game. You just have to take into account that other civs might feel a certain way towards you, though. He's also sent me a delegation. I will accept it. Which I think should give us another slightly positive modifier. Apparently not. I don't know why. So, there's always sort of suggestions that you can use to improve or ruin your relationship with other civs. So we could actually send our very first trait route to Japan, if that's what we would like to do. 27 production. And we're going to need... That's alright, I'll do it. Alright, so that's a little bit extra production towards our settler. Let's make sure there's no gray tiles around here, because we might actually want to settle close to him if there's anything good there, because otherwise he's just going to occupy it. That's something to consider. Like, he's going to be upset when you settle too close, but at the same time, if you don't settle close to him, he's going to settle close to you. And it looks like yeah, I'm just going to go for it. Take out the spearmen. And there we go. Our progress toward military tradition has advanced considerably. That is great. And what I'll do is I'm just going to make a farm, I think, on this. No, actually, yeah, I'm going to get those sheep over there. That's a bit better. And next turn, we will actually be getting our Pantheon. Alright, so you're going to have to wait one turn. We could actually remove our improvement again if we were to, for whatever reason, want to do that, but we don't. You know, I like my mine. Or quarry, I mean. Alright, so let's heal up here. So the barbarians, most likely the scout that came from this little outpost, has now found our city. That is bad. We can actually not purchase any military units right now to sort of fight him off, so we're just gonna have to hope. Hello, Japan, what are you doing here? What is going on here? He's got a little, he's hanging out here with some cows. Alright. It's a bit weird. So, for whatever reason, Japan has his army just sort of standing there. Now, this is our Pantheon. You can choose from a whole list of bonuses. And it all depends on, sort of what you have to determine if it's a good idea to do certain things. So, we have 2 dyes. We do have a bit of stone here as well. But the dyes basically allow me to, if we get a plantation on those, if we get oral tradition, and we get a plantation on the dyes, we get extra culture, that's pretty good. You can also get stuff like food from camps, faith from mines, production from fishing boats, +1 great person point from your holy site, campus, and theater district, or theater square. That's also quite good. Holy site district gets +1 faith from adjacent desert tiles. So if we were to actually make it around here, or even there, that would give it a very, very serious boost to our faith. So I'm going to go with that one, desert folklore. Progress towards mysticism has been boosted, like I said it would. And with that said, we are going to have to go for astrology and get that holy site up in the desert, because we're going to get a lot of faith from that one district. It's going to be great. So there we go. Anyway, guys, I'm going to leave it here for now. In the next part, we will settle our second city. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did enjoy, please consider leaving a like. I only asked this during the very first part of a series. And with that said, I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.